Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully you guys have a great and exceptional day. Don't forget to do the great three free things: like, share, and subscribe. Also, don't forget I will be going live this evening around 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, just talking about how in today's world, regardless of a man's economic status and whatnot, a lot of times if you are quote unquote considered the nice guy or the faithful guy, what's up, Kendrick? How you doing, brother? Then a lot of times you will be, if depending on who you marry or have a relationship with, you will finish last. But I'll get into that later on tonight on my YouTube channel, on my Facebook page and whatnot. So, as a great example, my friend Kendrick, he's a great example of a nice guy who didn't finish last, married to a great woman, has a great family, So, he's a great example of when you're nice, but you don't settle for the worst, I'm going to be talking about our quote unquote celebrities that are millionaires and billionaires, but they can, in certain instances, they're considered the most miserable people on the planet because of who they ended up marrying. It's because you marry somebody doesn't mean anything if they're the wrong person, and that goes for men and women. But I digress. All right. So today's word of the day is subtie. Stands for so slight as to be difficult to detect, not obvious, able to make fine distinctions, skillful and clever. And in today's world, you have to be, regardless of how you raise your family, how you make your money, how you look at your health. You have to be skillful and clever on so many different levels. How you run a business. There's a textbook for darn near everything nowadays, but we all know that life isn't a textbook. Life is a game of chess, and in the game of chess, it's not black and white. It can be as gray or as the walls of a prison cell, or it could be a multitude of colors and whatnot of a rainbow. You just never know. You never know what hand one that you're dealt. You never know what situation that you're going into, because working for any specific institution can leave you. It can make you feel on the inside that, yeah, everything's looking good. My check is looking good. I got the benefits and all that good stuff. But then how much of the time and space do you own? I'm reading the book by Fatherhood University. Let's see, do I have it over here? Yeah, I got it when I got to meet the brothers Corey Camp and Jimmy the Blueprint Williams. Own your time and space. Because one thing that a lot of people before the pandemic were talking about is, hey, how can I become more of a boss? How can I get free from the job plantation? And then with the pandemic happening and a lot of people having more time away from their job and their employer, whether it was people sitting on unemployment for a year or in some change, or a year or two, or whether it was people that were like myself working from home more, we had the opportunity to see what life is like not being involved in a quote unquote rat race, and getting a taste of that freedom. Because the thing is, a lot of times there was a lot of corporations, not most, but a lot of corporations. I would say about 30% of corporations were already buying into the whole work from home thing, especially new startups, because they're like, hey, the less I have to pay for office space, the better. All right, that means that's more profit for the company that I can invest back into the company, and therefore I can increase our standing when it comes to marketing, increase our standing when it comes to fulfilling the needs of customers, and then increase the standing of being able to get access to more contracts, whatever field you may be in. It could be from cleaning contracts, landscaping contracts, construction contracts, and that could be with the federal government, state government, local government. Other blue collar jobs like electrical companies, plumbing companies, or tech companies, engineering companies, insurance companies. The list goes on and on. Not owning commercial real estate, and that's probably what people are considering nowadays to be the first real estate bubble, because there's not as big of a need for it anymore. Because we live in a world there's not even a big of a need as much for people to even leave the house anymore. If you really think about it, like people that own a house, and whether it's a townhouse or a single family house, they can create their own gym. You can get darn near every service delivered to your house, from groceries, haircuts. Even if you wanted to get a mechanic, you have mobile mechanics. You got mobile everything nowadays. So if you can't get it from Amazon, you get it from Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub. That's the world we live in. Amazon Prime, Amazon Delivery, Amazon Fresh. We live in the world of I have a cell phone, I can get it online. I might have to pay a little bit of a fee. I can get it done online. I can do my banking online. I can do business online. I can work for online. So we live in that online world. Meet the Jetsons. You know what I mean? But that's the world we live in. So we live in a world where not everything is black and white as it used to be. One, two, not as everything being able to own your time and space, another great example of that. I swear I'm not getting any money from this book. I just think it's a great book. I'm reading it for the second time. People moving to cheaper states, moving to states where there's no income tax state, specifically Florida and the state of Texas and whatnot, because they work for employers or they work for themselves where it's all online, so they don't have to worry about being able to have to get a job in that specific state. They save money on taxes, they save money on cost of living or whatnot, and in today's world, that means a lot. But it doesn't mean anything if you're not doing the two smart things, saving the money and investing the money. Because most people just look at, hey, I moved to a cheaper state, that means I can spend more money. That's the part of the conversation more people don't want to have. Because I remember one old boss of mine saying years ago, he's like, hey, most people stay economically desperate or living paycheck to paycheck because even when their income rises, their spending rises. And a lot of times people don't realize that is the mindset of most working people. I make more, let me spend more. Not I make more, let me save and invest more. Because that's how it's supposed to be. When rich people make more, they save more, but the majority of the time, rich people will spend more by investing more. So the investing is right here, and the saving is right here. As Dame Dash always puts it, he remains, in a sense, on paper broke because he constantly puts his money back into the streets, as he says, because, he used to be a dope dealer back in the day. But meaning when he says putting his money back into the streets, it means he's putting his money back into businesses. But that's really and that's another conversation people don't really want to hear. That's really what rich people do. They're constantly, on paper, they might look broke. They might even file for bankruptcy and whatnot. But that's because they're quote unquote cash poor, but they're investment rich. Like Grant Cardone will say cash is trash. I think but in today's world right now, cash is kind of king because of the way that inflation is working right now, the cost of everything going up. There may be a slight correction in the real estate market. People are stating by the end of the year. I think most likely it's going to be by the new year, especially given the fact that the time of year that most people are not, especially people with families, think about it, they're not trying to move. It's usually between the school year, but specifically it's usually from the Christmas holidays to about April. That's usually the time frame that I like to buy real estate because I know that, this was obviously life before the pandemic, but I know obviously for me, it's like, hey, more people are not trying to move. Sellers are desperate to get rid of their property, so they might be willing to come down on the price and whatnot. Or they might just have a good price to be listed in the beginning because they're like, hey, this house has been sitting for a minute and nobody's trying to buy right now because people aren't really moving. Only investors are looking to buy, but they don't want that property. They want something else. So that's something to always take into consideration all at the same time as well. You know what I mean? They say winter is coming. I think winter financially is kind of here. It's just slowly creeping in and growing and growing and growing. And I think by the winter time, I'm not acting like I'm a professional economist, but I am saying by the winter time, I think things are going to slow down even more so because you just have more and more people are not trying to think with their heart, and they're trying to think with their brain in regards to how they're going to spend their money. Like a lot of people that have their vacation plans, I'm not mad at them. This has been year 2 since the pandemic happened. And a lot of people are just saying, the heck with it, I'm going to go enjoy life. I'm not mad at that. But I am saying is just do your best to not go for broke by enjoying life. That's all I got to say about that, all right? So today's quote of the day is by Pierre Teilhard De Chardin, who's a French philosopher, Jesuit priest, and paleontologist. He said, "We are not human beings on a spiritual journey. We are spiritual beings on a human journey. We are not human beings on a spiritual journey. We are spiritual beings on the human journey." And I could not agree with that statement more because every day is a chance, even if you live in a monotonous world of, get up, go to work, come home, take care of the family, get up, go to work. You're still supposed to be on some sort of journey, regardless of what it might be your spiritual one, it might be your physical one, it might be your financial one. Everybody has a journey to take part in, but everybody's not going to take part in it for the most part because a lot of people, they get stuck in the comfort zone. They get stuck being a robot a lot of times. They just get stuck being a drone, meaning, the drone has a master, and that master points the drone in the direction that they want that drone to go into. And a lot of working people have that mindset because they get comfortable. Once again, comfort zone is a death sentence. I've not said that in a minute, but I could not agree with that statement more. The comfort zone is a death sentence, and a lot of times, because I call it a death sentence because then most times when people get into that financial comfort zone, that job comfort zone, that even physical comfort zone, eating the same crap and not working it out and trying to do better, Then they wonder why years later, oh man, you have high blood pressure. Oh man, you have to have surgery to remove weight. If not, then you might die. Or certain things are out of your control, but certain things are in your control. Or then, oh man, I'm 60 years old. I got to keep working for another 10 or 15 years because I don't have enough money saved up or invested. These things matter. We don't live in the time of the pensions. The 401k plan is a joke if you don't know how to invest your money, if you don't know how to increase your contributions to it. I'm not giving out financial advice, do your homework. The 401k is a joke if you don't have, and even the person who created the 401k will tell you it wasn't meant for you to be able to retire solely upon that, okay? You add in Social Security if it is around, then you add in maybe even have an individual retirement account, but still, will that be enough? How do you really forecast your life being when you get into your elder years? Do you have any annuities? Do you have any whole life insurance plans? These things, that's why you talk to a financial professional, because everybody's wants and needs when they get into their elder years, for the most part, is going to be different. But these are questions that you need to have, because these are conversations you need to have with other people. Because that's why I say make money moves or live broke like a fool, because most people don't want to talk about these things, because a lot of times, like I said, I come from the DMV area, and most times people they talk about money from a bragging standpoint. It's not from a, hey, let's collaborate standpoint and see what we can get done and whatnot, because collaboration over competition is better every single day and whatnot. You don't believe me? Look at the biggest corporations and see who they team up with. Your Jeff Bezoses, your Mark Cubans, your Robert F. Smiths, your Damon Johns, your Bob Johnsons, the list goes, list goes on and on. Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, they all, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, they're all collaborating with somebody. Even your celebrities, they're all collaborating with somebody because they know they can get much further in that aspect. But anyways, do the great three things. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. Don't forget to check out Larry's Anything Goes, LLC, on Facebook and specifically YouTube. Subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're a stock market investor, crypto investor, want to open up an individual retirement account, think about joining Stash, WEBULL, Acorn, Crypto.com, Coinbase. You get once you sign up, it'll tell you how much money you get access to once you sign up. Some be little, some be a lot, but hey, being able to make money moves in your sleep is one of the best ways to make money moves. All right, and don't forget to check out the online store, support your local businesses, and as I always say, make money moves, or you're gonna live broke like a fool. Hopefully you guys have a great and exceptional day, but it is time for me to get up out of here because I got some things to handle. But it is always greatly appreciated. And on that note, family, I am out. And hey, keep doing the great things that you're doing in this life, and enjoy your life, because life, as I always say, life is too short. All right, take care.
Mike, now.